Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I want to tell you this one time, right? So it is like the summer break, from school, right? So my after school program lady said like, let's go to maybe like a park slash have like a pool there. I don't know what it's called, but whatever. So we did that, right? And the bus picked us up because it was no school because it was like summer break, right? So the bus picked us up. I don't remember if it was the first or the last person to get on the bus, right? But anywho, so we went to this park slash like pool area, right? So we got off the bus, and she was like, we're gonna do all these things. We're gonna climb this big rock slash thing there, right? And then we're gonna do like all these little things, right? I don't remember what it was, but it was like little things where you're supposed to climb or something like that, right? And little things, right? I think it was like climbing a rock and jumping from one side to the other. It was like all these little things we had to do, right? So after a while, it was one day we had to we had to see how healthy we was, right? So we had to run from that location, to that location to the opposite side, right? And then we got to climb this, I think it was like a wall over and see how, if we can do it on time or something like that. We did that one day, right? And then it was the next day we had to we had to do military things. Like I'm just gonna be straight up. We had to do military like things, like exercise and stuff like that, right? So we did that one day, right? And then the next day we had to do like climbing this big wall, right? And your girl, I don't know if I was scared, but I didn't want to go first, right? So I don't think I was scared of heights. I'm not too sure. But after a while, it was my turn, right? So um, I climbed the thing there, right? And I'm like, my legs is kind of like it's like small, right? Not like small, but short, right? So I try to I climb straight, but then the straight parts of the little hard thing was too far, right? So I go from the side, right, and I kept going up the little ladder, right, of the wall, right. So I finally got to the top, right. Your girl got to the top, and I was feeling so cool, right. So I was like screaming at the people down on the floor part to go get our after school lady, right? So, because she was taking pictures as we doing these kind of like um little things, right? So she took a picture of me, and I was like, yeah, I got up there. And they're like, I was like, how do I get down, right? They're like, let go of the little bar, right, and hold on to the rope you have, right, and then start kicking your foot towards this way, and then just keep going like that, right. So I did that, and I finally got to the ground, right, and then after that day, we was like headed. That was in the front of the little, I think, plaza. It was not a plaza, but it was like a little thing there where the parking lot at, right? So we got from the opposite side towards like the pool area, right? They told us that it was a man-made pool they made, and I was like, okay. So they did that, right? And I saw this. I don't think it was an iguana. It was like those big reptile lizards, right? And I saw that, and I asked them the question. I was like, is those lizards gonna like hurt us or anything like that? They was like, just as long as you don't mess with them, they'll be all right, right? And I was like, okay. I didn't want to ask any more questions because we wanted to like go into the pool area and stuff like that, right? So they was giving us floaties, right, or like life jackets, right. So we got that, right, and everybody's getting that fit. They were heavier than me, right. So they all was laughing at me. It was two groups, my group and another group, right. So it was two groups, and it was like maybe like four of us had to wear like the baby's life jacket, including me. And my group was like laughing at us, like he was like laughing at me, like I was like, they was like, oh look at Venetia, she's wearing that baby kind of life jacket, you know. And I was like, the baby jacket, the baby's life jacket was cuter, you know. It was blue and it had like yellow. Theirs was like I think orange and the other one was red, right? So they're like, oh, you wearing the baby's one? And I was like, of course, guys, I'm like 90 something pounds. That big one is gonna like it's gonna help me, but it will be too heavy, you know. So for my body, right? It was like, oh, okay, whatever. So they was getting in the water, you know, and I was like, I ain't gonna go in the water because um I can't swim, right? Yeah, I can't swim. So I was like, whatever. So they went on in the pool and stuff like that, right? And it was like, whatever, right? And after that day, it was the next day, right? It was like, who wanna go canoeing, right? And I did not know that I would love canoeing. Like, don't, you guys, the first day or the first time I ever went canoeing, I loved it, you know. It was me and my friend, right? So there was like, everybody's gonna go canoeing. You can't like, not go on a canoe, right? So there was like, you can be three to like a canoe or it can be two to a canoe, right? So my friend, she was like a little bit heavier than me, right? So I think I was in the front or in the back? I can't remember where I was sitting, right? But anyway, I was sitting there, right? And it was like, they're like, you have to go all the way down to the bottom of the lake, man-made lake thingy, and then come back, right? And I tell you, that shit was far. It was far, you know. My arms almost got out. My arms almost like gave in, you know, after a while, right? And it was this girl, this acquaintance I know, right? She was in a boat with, I think it was two boys or something like that. I don't know. No, it was two girls and one boy. And you know that one, she couldn't swim, right? So they was rocking the boat, right? And apparently me and my friend, we was going towards them, right? They're like, oh, what's her name gonna get like dropped into the water, right? So they kept they was rolling the boat, you know, rocking the boat, you know, and apparently they turn over a boat, right? And now my friend, she drowning. Even if she have like a life jacket, she thinks she's drowning, right? So I was yelling back to the back part, you know, back of us, right? Oh, what's her name drowning? Oh, what's her name drowning? So they got like the boat and then started driving to them, right? To turn like fix the boat and turn back around, right? So the girl, she didn't want to go back in the boat with them, right? So she got onto like the boat area and then they drove her back to the land part, right? So we finally got down to the bottom. We had to come back, right? Apparently some of them got stuck into like the trees and the branches, right? They had to save them as well, you know. We didn't get caught or anything like that because we was rolling the right way. And I was telling my friend, hey, roll it this way, right? So we did that and then it was the next day, right? So the next day we had like I don't know what it's called. It was like a big, long, it's not a floaty, but it's like a surf, thing there, right? And we had a paddle, right? So that day we had to do that kind of thing, right? So apparently I didn't know if I was going to love that, you know, and apparently I did it, you know, and I loved it, you know, it was fun. I did it by myself because two people can't go on it, right? And everybody was failing at that with with that big, long, thing there. I don't know. It was a surfing thing, you know. So all the people was failing because they was heavy and they couldn't keep their balance, right? And they're like, oh, look at Venetia, you know, kind of in an angry way, like how we can't get up on the little surfboard.